Recently, there's been a lot of good news regarding the iPad 10, and now Mark Gurman chimes in and says he also believes we could see some big upgrades. So let's delve into it. So in case you don't know, 9to5Mac last week told us we could see some big changes for the budget iPad. This included a new design that was going to be similar to the iPad Pros, also USB-C, the A14 chip, 5G support, and also a bigger display. So yeah, this would be a massive refresh, and Gurman basically now corroborates with this report and says that yes, he also has heard about a budget iPad with the USB-C port. Now yes, he does not explicitly say he's heard about a new design, but do remember the fact if we do get USB-C, we have to get the new design, since Apple Pencil 1 right now connects via the Lightning port, and so replacing that with USB-C means we have to see second gen Apple Pencil support, and for that to happen we need a flat design because the Apple Pencil 2 connects on the side of the iPad. So yes, Gurman saying that he's heard about a USB-C port on the budget iPad does confirm we'll see a new design. However, I will say there is always a chance Apple does something wacky with the budget iPads, and instead of giving us a new design, they give us an Apple Pencil 1.5 with a USB-C connector instead. However, Apple rarely designs accessories solely for the budget iPads. It usually uses the accessories that were made for the higher end models, and so I do think there's a very strong chance we see a new design that supports Apple Pencil 2. Now for those wondering about the upgrades in general with the Space iPads, let's delve into that. So beginning with the display, interestingly 9to5Mac says it could be 10.5 inches. Now that's interesting because the 10.5 inch panel was part of the 2017 iPad Pro refresh, and that was before the big 2018 redesign, and so I'm kind of surprised we're going to see that display size with this new design. Now there are three possibilities that can come out of this. Number one, Apple gives us even thicker bezels with the budget iPads, since do remember that Apple didn't make the bezels slightly thicker on the iPad Air to differentiate it from the Pro variant, and so to differentiate this base iPad from the higher end models, I could see Apple giving us even thicker bezels, allowing for a 10.5 inch panel on the front. The second possibility is Apple redesigning this product as a whole and giving us a smaller chassis for this 10.5 inch panel. Now I do think this is not as likely because Apple rarely gives us a new chassis for their budget iPads. It's usually recycled from higher end models, and so I do have a strong feeling Apple's going to recycle the iPad Air chassis for this, but the bezels could be thicker like I said. However, the third possibility is a weird one, which is Apple gives us the iPad Air chassis, but on the front, they keep the 4-inch in and the home button. Now this would be a really weird hybrid between the old iPad designs and the new iPad designs, and once again I think this is pretty unlikely because iPadOS in general is moving away from the home button era and of course fully incorporates gestures, and so embracing that for this new budget iPad would be the right move. So yes, unfortunately I think the first possibility with the thick bezels is the most likely because clearly Apple wants to differentiate this from the higher end models, and making the bezels a lot thicker is the best way to do that. The only thing we've not heard about yet is regarding the panel being laminated or not. I'm hoping it is laminated because while I do understand panels that are not laminated are much easier to fix, they do look kinda archaic in 2022, that display gap looks hideous, and so resolving that with this redesign would be appreciated. And yeah, 9to5Mac did tell us this display was going to be very similar to the Air when it comes to the resolution, so I do think this display is going to be finely laminated, which is going to make the Apple Pencil experience a lot better with this iPad. Now chip-wise, we're going to see the A14 in this. I'm hoping that comes with a RAM upgrade because we've been at 3 gigs on the base iPad for a while now, so getting 4 gigs would be appreciated, and I do think it's likely because I'm assuming Apple's going to reuse iPhone 12 logic boards for this base iPad. But anyways, the performance boost is going to be appreciated, and yes, I know the A14 does not support Stage Manager on the iPad, but I do think for the target demographic, that's not a massive concern, and to be honest, Apple clearly wants you to buy the higher end iPads, so leaving some features out with the base iPads totally makes sense. Now storage wise, I'm expecting the same configurations, so 64 gigs and 256 gigs, no 128 gig option because that would be too good of a deal, and of course Apple wants to upsell consumers on the storage they use. Also, the iPad Air has 64 gigs as standard, so for the base iPad to get 128 would look pretty odd. Now cameras wise, I don't think we're seeing any upgrades with that, and to be honest, I think the cameras are fine as is. We got center stage with the iPad 9, which is great, and the rear camera is rarely used with an iPad. At the very most, you're scanning documents with it, so the current 8MP sensor is completely fine for that, and we don't need any major upgrades. Now for the 1 or 2 people out there who love 5G, this base iPad is gonna get that, and I'm not excited for this because number one, I'm sure there's going to be a price hike for the 5G models, but also number two, realistically in terms of day-to-day use, I found no improvements with 5G, so I really could care less about the base iPad getting this. But since every other model in the range already has it, I'm sure the base iPad is going to follow suit. Now finally, accessories are the exciting part because if we do get a redesign, that means this iPad can now use Apple Pencil 2 and of course Magic Keyboards. Now it's going to be kind of funny that the Magic Keyboard's going to be the same price as the actual iPads, but either way these are way superior to the smart keyboards we have now, so this is going to be an upgrade I appreciate. And yeah, this is why I'm sure Apple's going to recycle the iPad Air chassis, because giving this a smaller body means this can't use existing accessories, and I doubt Apple's going to make a new size of the Magic Keyboards that's compatible with this iPad. They did not do that with the iPad mini, so I doubt they'll do that for the base iPad. So yes, once again expect the same iPad Air chassis but with thicker bezels to give us a smaller 10.5 inch panel on the front. Now pricing wise, I do unfortunately think there's going to be a price hike. I doubt that Apple can give us all these upgrades at the same low price, and so I do see this being $399. Now that is still a pretty good deal because if you don't care about the M1 exclusive features, this base iPad's basically giving you the basics of the high-end iPad experience for $200 less than the iPad Air 5. And so I do think this is going to be popular even with the price hike. And actually, I would not be surprised if Apple keeps around the iPad 9 at $299, since there would be enough of a difference between the iPad 9 and the 10 because they have completely different designs. But for those wanting the cheapest iPad on the market and do not care about the new design, the iPad 9 at $299 could be a good deal. Anyways, that's about it guys, but tell me your thoughts in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the code above on details regarding the Apple VR headset, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya peeps.